that means puberty, that means he's an adult, she's an adult, and they are accountable, and laws apply to them of the Sharia. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى وإذا بلغ الأطفال منكم الحلم فليستأذنوا كما استأذن الذين من قبلهم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if your kids reach the age of al-hulm, al-hulm is the خروج المني, wet dream. They reach that age, then they need to ask for permission when they walk into the rooms. Okay, so that is a sign that the ulama have agreed to be a sign of puberty. If it happens and takes place, then it's a sign of puberty. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رفع القلم عن ثلاثة وذكر منهم الصبي حتى يبلغ. The Prophet ﷺ said that 3 people are not held accountable, and one of them he mentioned the sabi, the kid, until reach the age of puberty, and in one riwayah حتى يحتلم, in one riwayah until he reaches or until he has or he has a wet dream. Okay, so this is a sign of al-bulugh. The other one, and this is consensus, يعني ijma', this point. The next one, there is no ijma', but a lot of the ulama have this opinion, and that is reaching the age of 15. Reaching the age of 15 years old. So they said if the person or the kid or the girl reaches the age of 15 and none of the other signs had shown, then they are baligh. Okay, they have reached the age of puberty, even if nothing happens, even if they don't have that dream, even if the other thing, a girl doesn't have her period. If they reach the 15 and they have none of these things happen, then they are considered to be baligh, and this is different opinion amongst the ulama. Their dalil on that Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhuma has said عرضت على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يوم أحد وأنا ابن 14 فلم يجزني وعرضت عليه وأنا ابن 15 سنة فجازني. You see, this hadith of Ibn Umar, he said, in other words, the Prophet ﷺ was asked if I could participate in Uhud. Okay, and he sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not allow me, and I was 14 years old. And then he was asked that I participate in Khandaq, and he said I was 15 years old, and he allowed me. So they said that means when he was 14, he was not at the age of puberty. He was not mukallaf. So when he reached the age of 15, he became. Now the question is, someone might ask, Uhud was in the 3rd year, Badr in the 2nd year after Hijrah, Uhud in the 3rd year, and Khandaq in the 5th year. So how was he 14 in the 3rd year and 15 in the 5th year? Okay, and that can be answered 2 ways. One way is he could have been the beginning of 14 at Uhud, and at the end of 15 at Khandaq. That's 2 years. Okay, and the other way is he said 15, meaning he's 16, but he's saying 15, that means he finished 15. That is one of the ways that the Arabs speak, that he completed 15 and now he's starting 16. So when he wants to say how old he is, because he just started 16, so he's not really, did not complete 16, so he say 15. So this is one either way, but that is how you answer this. So Umar bin Abdul Aziz, rahimahullah, when he heard this story, he made it the law that to write in the law that the age of puberty is 15, and he sent to all his representatives around the Ma'mura. So that's the second one. The second sign, as you see, is the 15 years old. So the first was the wet dream, and the second 15 years Third sign, يقول العلماء نبات الشعر الخشن حول الفرج, the growth of frigid or خشن يعني coarse hair, okay, around the private parts. So the growth of this coarse hair around the private part is sign of puberty. And we didn't say that the soft hair, because a lot of youngsters can have that hair. Even some babies might be born with that. So it's coarse hair, that is a sign of puberty as well. And the fourth one, which is only for the women, and that is period. She has her menstruation, then that is a sign of puberty. Once the girl has her period, it's a sign of puberty. And usually girls reach that age before boys, the age of puberty. Okay? Usually before. And depends on the area, depends on the weather and the climate. But some girls can reach the puberty at the age of 9. Okay? So very important for parents to pay attention to that. And especially the mothers when it comes to that, to their daughters, because that's the first person the girl gonna tell. So that is al-bulugh. So when you are in charge of a kid's money, because he lost his dad or he lost his parents, he's an orphan, then once the time that you give him back his money is he has to reach the age of puberty. That is the first condition. Okay? So if he meets one of those things, then he had fulfilled this criteria. But that is not enough. Okay? Because again, they can reach the age of puberty, but they have no rushd. Meaning, they're not fit. They do not know how to handle money. So the second criteria is a rushd. Okay? Is rushd is the capacity to be able to handle money. Okay? The ability to distinguish between what's right and what's wrong. The ability to deal with money. Okay? To know the difference between between 2 and 3. All these things, this can be contributed to rushd. So someone might ask, how can we test for that? How can we know? The ulama said, you test them. How can we know if this kid, yeah, he reached puberty. Now we need to know if he reached that rushd. How do we know? قال العلماء تختبر. Okay? And how do you test him? You give him money and send him to the marketplace. Send him to the grocery. Send him to buy stuff. And see if he's capable to come back with good results. That's how you tell. Okay? I remember when one of my relatives was, older lady, was excited how she was able to buy tomatoes and beat the seller. And the seller told her the pound was 18 kirsh. And she said, I only have 20. Okay? It was the pound for 18 cents, and she said, I only have 20. So she gave him 20 for the pound. And she's excited that she thinks that she beat him. She's a bargainer. Okay? So some people like that. They just don't know the difference. And you'll be amazed. Okay? So that's how you test these people or these kids. قال الله تعالى وابتلوا اليتامى فإن آنستم منهم رشدا فابتلوا اليتامى. Test the orphans. You test them. When it's time you want to give them back their money, you test them. So if you see that they're after they reach the age of puberty, they have that rushd and that ability to handle money, then you become obligated to give them their money.